The universe is expanding. It sounds like a dry scientific fact, but in reality, it is one of the strangest and most fundamental properties of reality. Right now, at this very second, the distance between galaxies is increasing. Not because they are flying through empty space, but because space itself between them is stretching. We live inside a process that began almost 14 billion years ago and may never end. But to understand why the universe is expanding, you first need to understand one important thing. Most people imagine the universe incorrectly, a mistaken idea of the universe. Usually, people picture the universe as a huge empty box in which an explosion occurred, as if galaxies are fragments flying outward in all directions. This seems intuitive, but it's wrong. The Big Bang was not an explosion in space. It was the expansion of space itself. There is no center of the universe, no point from which everything flew out. Every point was the center, simultaneously. If you existed in any galaxy, you would see the same picture. All other galaxies moving away from you. What happened in the beginning? At the very beginning, the universe was extremely hot and dense, not compressed into a point, but simply incredibly dense everywhere. Space already existed, but its dimensions were minimal. Then came the event we call the Big Bang. It was the moment when space began to stretch. It's important to understand, the universe is not expanding into something, it is expanding within itself. Beyond the universe, there is no void, no space, no nothing. The question, where is it expanding to? Makes no sense, because the universe itself is all space. Why did the expansion begin at all? Why did space start expanding in the first place? The honest scientific answer is, we don't know for sure. But we do know how it behaves. In the early universe, energy was so high that space became unstable. The laws of physics, as we know them today, didn't operate in the same way back then. When the universe began to cool, the expansion didn't stop. It became part of its nature. It's like pushing a swing once, and it keeps moving. How we discovered the universe is expanding. This is not a guess. It's an observable fact. At the beginning of the 20th century, astronomers noticed something strange. The light from distant galaxies was shifted toward the red part of the spectrum. This is called redshift. In physics, it means the light source is moving away from the observer. The farther the galaxy, the stronger the redshift, which means the faster it is moving away. This rule applies in all directions. No matter where we look, the universe expands uniformly. A simple analogy. Imagine a rubber sheet with dots on it. The dots are galaxies. You stretch the sheet and the distance between the dots increases. But the dots themselves do not move across the surface. Galaxies behave the same way. They are held together by gravity, but the space between them stretches. Why gravity doesn't stop the expansion? It seems logical to assume that gravity should have stopped the expansion. After all, everything in the universe attracts everything else. Scientists long thought that the expansion would slow down over time and eventually stop. But observations revealed something shocking. The expansion is accelerating. This means there is something in the universe that opposes gravity. Dark energy. It is not particles. It is not matter. It is not a force in the usual sense. Dark energy is a property of space itself. The more space there is, the more dark energy there is. And the more dark energy there is, the faster the expansion. Today, about 70% of the universe's total energy is dark energy. We cannot see it. We cannot touch it. We can only observe its effects. Why it matters? The expansion of the universe determines the fate of everything that exists. If the expansion continues forever, galaxies will eventually disappear from view. The night sky will become almost empty, stars will burn out, energy will disperse, the universe will become cold and dark. This scenario is called the heat death of the universe. Possible future scenarios. There are more radical possibilities. If dark energy strengthens, the expansion could become so powerful that it tears apart galaxies first, then stars, then planets, and finally even atoms. This is called the Big Rip. We don't yet know which scenario is real, but we do know that expansion is the key to the future. A philosophical note. The strangest thing about all this is that we live inside an expanding universe and don't even feel it. Our cities, thoughts, fears, and dreams take place in space that is constantly getting bigger. Everything moves away. Everything drifts into the distance. And perhaps that is why people cherish moments of here and now so much. Conclusion. The universe expands not because it has a goal, but because that is the law it follows. And while it grows, we are a small part of an infinite process, trying to understand why there is something rather than nothing. Just look at the stars. You are inside them more than it seems.